So we're looking at the brand new WWE Elite Series 129, man, and this set right here might be the best WWE Elite set we've seen in a minute, and I'll explore that. But as we know, if you guys were unaware, WWE Elite Series 128 is actually the next set that is supposed to ship from Ringside Collectibles. And if you know anything, WWE Elite Series 127, we just took a look at. We reviewed this entire wave. There were some surprising things and some good things about this wave, and I did give my whole thoughts on everything, man. If you guys missed this video, definitely go check it out. We break down all the figures and everything. But Elite Series 127 left me feeling a bit mid, man. I didn't really like the way everything played out there. However, going into Elite Series 128, I think we do get a tip up in the scale. I think it ticks up a little bit. But from Elite Series 128, I think we go a step above that as well. So as the year unfolds and progresses into the fall, I think we're actually going to see better WWE action figures coming from Mattel in the main line. It's very weird, though, because the timeline of events has been very just strange, in my opinion. I don't know if it's shipping delays or what, but it seems like figures are trickling out very, very slowly and fast at the same time. It's a very weird thing. But in the main WWE Elite line, we talked about this a little bit, but Elite Series 125, I had that in hand 6 months ago, I think, or something like that, man. Very, very early in the beginning of the year. And then it took forever to get Elite Series 126 with the red Penta, the El Grande Americano wave, that's the Roman Reigns with the white boots. And then we finally, just this past week, like I just mentioned, got Elite Series 127. But going into Elite Series 128, we are getting some interesting figures here. This is going to be the Jelly Roll wave. This is going to be the wave that includes the Randy Orton, the R-Truth, the JC Jane, the Tala Tonga, or Tonga Loa as we know.
We got R-Truth, JC Jane, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Tonga Loa, and Jelly Roll.
We don't even know what this Randy Orton figure is going to look like. This is, I don't know. It's not the greatest wave ever, but we are getting some fresh stuff in here that I'm excited about. But Elite Series 129, I think, looks much better than the rest of these sets we've talked about today. So I want to talk about that and discuss it because it is fully revealed here, and we're going to get into it. And the first figure is going to be this AJ Styles figure that I am so much looking forward to. It's unbelievable. So as we know, AJ Styles, he brought back this gear here, man. I love this vest. I love the blue and white gear. If anybody ever wonders what my favorite colors are, it is these two right here. I know we talk about the pinks and this stuff like that. These are my two favorite colors, white and blue, just together with black outlines and crisp details. It just stands out so much, and I just love this, man. And I know that a lot of people are going to be thinking about getting that WCW Elite, AJ Styles Legends Elite, and then putting the head sculpt on here. I know a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, you know, the torso's too big, what have you. I don't know that for sure yet. I mean, it's probably going to be the case, but I think you're going to have an opportunity to make a fix-up, and we're going to explore that. We'll probably do a whole surgery video on that project in itself, taking this AJ Styles, converting him into a TNA Styles, but doing that head swap and creating that figure should be great. But I think, you know, outside of that, I think this figure is going to be really easy to, you know, turn into what we're looking at, and hopefully that all comes together. But I like the way this figure looks. Very excited for this. The gear looks incredible. Fantastic moment to replicate, and I know people are going to be excited to try and see what we can come up with for this figure, but I love the way this AJ Styles looks. Another one is going to be Finn Balor with Demonito, okay? This was a really cool reveal. Now, I've talked about this a little bit, talking about how I don't like the Finn figure in itself, just because, you know, I feel that they make him too small, similar to when Adam Cole was in the company, when we got the Revival figures back in the day in the NXT Elites and stuff like that. I don't know what it is, but certain characters, they just make tiny, man. And so, you know, and I know they're not the biggest characters ever. Okay, I understand that, but I think these legs are just so small, and they make him just very short. And I know that Finn's not just some gigantic person, okay? I understand that. I just don't like this leg mold. I don't like this build of the character. It's got the old John Cena shoes. So it's an outdated buck. We're using a really outdated buck for this Finn, and it's a repaint. They gave him the Demon Finn Balor ultimate head with the tongue out, which I think is a pretty cool thing. You know, pretty creative to reuse that and do it, you know, without face paint to give you that look. And I think that's pretty creative. But Demonito is definitely the star here. I think that it looks pretty cool. You got this Demon Finn Balor fig, or this mini figure going on, and I'm wondering if this is just one hard piece of plastic hand puppet, like an interchangeable hand, or is it gonna have? I highly doubt. I feel like they would have told us if it had a bendy wire in it, like Yeska or something like that from Mr. Iguana. I bet it's just like a rubber hand mold or whatever. But regardless, I look forward to the figure in some ways, not so much in others. This is going to be the third time we've gotten this exact buck, and I don't like it. So there's that. But next up, I want to talk about the last time is now John Cena. We get another attire from the retirement tour. I love that we're getting more and more of this, this formula. I think this is just an undefeated formula. We're getting a unique gear here. We haven't ever really seen a yellow gear John Cena. I'm wondering, I imagine he's going to come with the hat, right? Surely he's going to come with the hat. They do this thing when they go to these shows. They don't put the hat on the John Cenas. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but they never display the loose hat on the heads where they don't fit all the way, because it's going to be the first thing that gets called out, which, we just need some new stuff going on there. But surely this will come with a hat, but it comes with a towel, comes with a yellow and green attire, got the blue knee pads in there. And I'm all for all the retirement tour looks, man. If you're going to make John Cena, you might as well do some attires and stuff that, they haven't been made. So it makes sense. So this John Cena looks good. Really excited for the John Cena adding into the John Cena collection as always. And it's pretty cool that it's an Australia gear. I think that's pretty cool. But next up, we are looking at the next figure in Elite Series 129, which is going to be AJ Lee, man. This figure looks really, really strong. This is her first Elite back, not counting. This is more of a modern updated figure, because if you look at the From the Vault Elite, which came in the last From the Vault series, that was kind of a re-release of her older figures. They just gave it true effects. They had some updates here and there with double jointed arms, and I don't hate that figure. It's probably my favorite figure out of that From the Vault set, I imagine, but this AJ Lee looks really good. You can see here she is going to have the newer articulation for the torso. So she is going to have that kind of China, Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley thing going on, where the lower torso is inserted down into the crotch piece, so you get a better ab crunch. I also think that it captures her physique quite well. She's always kind of been known for her ab definition and her ab development, and I think that it looks really good here. It looks realistic and everything. I'm not the biggest fan of this head sculpt. It looks a bit odd, but it's almost an Elite equivalent of that Ultimate Edition Larry, CM Punk, and AJ Lee 3-pack that we're going to be getting very soon as well. So it's kind of that Elite equivalent here. I like the shorts, details, and stuff. This figure also looks like it's just going to be very posable. The legs with no, you get just fully articulated legs. She even has shin cut. Very cool. Very cool figure here. I think that this AJ Lee looks very, very promising. And then we also have a look at the Becky Lynch. Now, the Becky Lynch figure, I hate it because, when these wrestlers wear these black gears, it's really hard to always capture every detail about it. You think about Randy Orton, you think about Becky Lynch, you think about these talents that wear these black attires. Well, a lot of the times, the black attires, you don't get all those details. And so this one, at least you get the fur coat. I feel like Becky Lynch's, most of her figures are in black gear. At least it seems like that. I know sometimes they try to change it up, but a lot of them, do have that black gear. That's what I kind of remember of her figures. I know we've had some differences. Okay, I'm not saying that she has ever not had, other than black gears. I know she has had that. I'm just saying when it comes to mine, I would rather see something else. But this black and white is clean. The fur duster coat here looks insane. The glasses look really cool. Kind of matches our upcoming Elite 128 Seth Rollins. Kind of matches the Saturday night's main event Elite Seth Rollins that's coming out as well. But this is a very strong likeness to Becky Lynch, man. I remember the times when Becky Lynch, you couldn't get likeness to Becky Lynch. They used to really struggle with her, but nowadays it seems like they have captured her pretty good. So this looks really good, especially with the glasses on. I guess, things are out on that. The jury's still out. We could see, the glasses come off and it looked completely abysmal, but this looks very, very promising as far as Becky Lynch is concerned. I think this looks like a pretty good figure. I like the likeness, and I think we're looking at a pretty good figure here, but and the last figure in Elite Series 129 is very, very strong, man. This is a character we have waited on for a very long time, and we are looking at Repo Man. And on this Repo Man, it's incredible. I think it captures the character perfectly. It is not necessarily a character that is for me specifically. I am not some big Repo Man, just massive fan, right? But I think this looks identical to the character. perfect, expression in the head sculpt. You get this really cool gray gear. The jacket with all the different garb on the back looks really, really good. What do you want, man? This is such a great figure and a great representation to fill out a display, to fill a hole in a collection, and they did a really good job here. This is a perfect inclusion. Just knock this one out of the park. So I think Elite Series 129 is much stronger than, some of these other waves. I think a lot of these figures are pretty sought after. You get the one flashback. I know in Elite Series 128, it's completely all, today talent. There is not any talent that is flashback necessarily. So that's pretty cool. And then in Elite Series 127, I'm pretty sure it was the same deal, right? It was a lot of current day talent, not a lot of, flashback talent or none whatsoever. So that's something to also monitor. But Elite Series 129 looks very promising. I am looking forward to it. I think that we have some good figures here. And I guess, I don't know, I'm trying to think, which one am I most looking forward to? Probably the AJ Styles. I think the AJ Lee also looks pretty good. The Finn Balor, I think the Demon Ito is kind of the standout. Repo Man is very cool, even though it's not necessarily my era or something that I care about personally. But I do care about getting first time in the line or characters in the line, iterations of certain characters that we have never seen from Mattel that people have wanted for a very long time. So I think that is really excellent as well. But that is pretty much what I wanted to talk about today, man. Get on here, talk about Elite Series 129 and discuss it. So let me know what you guys think, if you guys are into it or not. Are you grabbing any of Elite Series 129? But that is pretty much going to wrap it up for me, man. I appreciate you guys so very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this full wave, if you guys are going to be scooping it or not. But I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.